What's good? It's Ozman the Wizard.
And Naima.
This is not
Not
another damn
another damn
podcast.
podcast.
Presented by
Our damn selves.
So 303.
Yes.
Shout out our mom who was born March 3rd. 3-3
Yes.
is her day. Just had a birthday a few weeks back.
Yes, yes.
Mine's coming up, as is Ariana's. Yeah.
Yay.
Real soon. Think I'm gonna go see Creed on my birthday. That's what I want to see. Creed 3. I
Nice.
haven't seen it yet, so that's what I want to do.
I think we're all playing slime for Ariana's birthday.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah. Fun, fun, fun. See the joy in my face. Mm. But, kids, they like doing interesting
Double
things.
Dare was still around. Y'all have to go on Family Double Dare now. Dare. Double Dare. Physical. Kids would mess up on purpose. They wanted to do the physical challenge. Be the easiest, most elementary questions, and
Softball questions.
they would never answer because they wanted them damn physical challenges.
Could you imagine Marcus though on double? No, he wouldn't know it.
Like, that doesn't work for me.
I'm not doing that. I'm not climbing through that. I'm not going into that. I'm not doing that. No, like he would just say flat out no.
Shout out Robin and Dave and Harvey. Well,
Stop. It was good seeing Mark Summer on some stuff.
That'd be an adventure. Bring Harvey back for the
Stop. It was good to see Mark Summer on some things.
Mark Summers. Let's go.
It was good seeing him. Yeah. Okay. Because they briefly brought back Double Dare. I think they got canceled to do one.
Yeah,
Because I haven't seen it.
I'm sure it sucked. It's like that's you never gonna create that magic.
Because I was initially excited because I was like, oh, double. And then when I watched it, I was kind of like,
that's the thing about all of these 80s/90s reboots is you never create the magic of the original.
Because like the 80s and 90s was different. Because like a lot of stuff that we deemed as like great, it just doesn't exist in today's world now.
Like I said, like it is really not an audience for that stuff. That's why I don't get why they keep doing these reboots. It's like because folks our age, like we just want to see the original. It's like
yeah.
And the young kids, they're like, the fuck is this shit? Like, it's like they rather watch something else totally. They don't want to see that at all. It's like with
They
us, like
Coco Melon
for our age, we go, yeah, and Peppa Pig. That's what they want to watch. It's like
play Roblox.
and folks our age, we just be like, yeah, it's cool, but it's not the original. It ain't Robin and Dave and Harvey. That's what we gonna complain about the whole time. It's never gonna be that. It's like
yeah.
You gotta take it for what it is. It's like it's never gonna be what the original. Because they've done that with like, let's just do game shows. It's like, yeah, because they brought back that. They brought back Supermarket Sweep. They brought back Press Your Luck.
Press Your Luck.
Card Sharks is like a pyramid. All of that shit failed and shit too. It's like they brought all of that shit back because like it's not the original. The Card Sharks is not gonna be. It's never gonna be that and shit. Never gonna be that again.
One show that I think that they can do forever is the Match Game. You can do that show forever. I think.
Lastly, that one hasn't gotten a reboot. Like that would actually.
It did. Match Game got a reboot.
It must have sucked. I don't remember that at all.
Because they brought it back, yeah. They brought it back during because
Michael Strahan was on the shit. I don't remember. Was he on?
No, Michael Strahan's on Pyramid.
He's on one of them
shows. On $100,000 Pyramid because they bring those shows back for the summer show. That's like what they do for the summer, like shows.
Like they
summer fillers.
They never be like the originals. It's like what's the name? The only show that's held up over time is Family Feud. Out of all of those to me, it's Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey made it work and shit. That's out of all those shows, that's the only one that stuck and shit. Rest of them is like, who cares? It's like Family Feud stuck and shit somehow and shit. It's the feud, yeah. Family Feud stuck. So they did a reboot of Millionaire with Cedric. That failed. It's like
and they brought back they had somebody else in there after Sid. I forgot who was on there after Sid.
Wasn't Regis Philbin, that's why. It'll never be like the Regis Philbin.
Yeah, because Regis was like, it was just different.
It's like, yeah, it'll never be like that. Mm-hmm. It's like so like I said, I don't get the 80s and 90s reboots because like it's the hard audience is hard to like and they did it with sitcoms too, like Fuller House and Girl Meets World and all of that. Like, and nobody cared. They brought Saved by the Bell back, another one that failed.
They brought back That's So Raven.
Did they? Oh wow!
Yeah, because it's our Raven's home. It's like basically Raven now as an
With
adult, like she's
40-year-old Raven.
like she's divorced with kids or something. Yeah.
I know they didn't bring Orlando Brown back. That would make the show watchable. If they bring him back, I'm watching every episode. Just like don't even script him, just let him be Orlando Brown and shit. Like unscripted. You wouldn't watch that shit. It's like
The lesson about
that would make the show entertaining and just let him go on there unscripted and say talking about
I did watch
y'all do like on the set back in the day when the cameras were off. Like let him talk about that shit.
I did watch The Louder Prouder. I have to watch season 2. And they wrote about that. So remember I told you when they brought back Louder Prouder, the Proud Family. I haven't watched the second season yet.
Only episode I heard about, I haven't seen, was the slaves built this country, which went viral. I haven't seen this shit.
I gotta watch it. Like I said,
for all the wrong reasons it went viral.
I watched season 1. Like I said, they did write out once again. They wrote out Orlando Brown's character. Like they wrote him out on the first episode.
He said, "I have to go now. My planet needs me."
It was damn near close to that because they made his family. It was just like Sticky just wrote a letter saying like, "Yeah, my family's moving to Japan or something." Like it was like that. It was like, and we're leaving now.
And on his way to Japan, he died. Hey, Krusty.
He's dead.
He's dead. Yeah. On his way back to his home planet, his spaceship exploded or whatever the fuck. But yeah, these reboots just don't work.
It's not the same. It's not. That's why my thing I say
the original audience complains because it's not the original. And the new generation,
you're not feeling it.
Shit. It's like,
you're not feeling it.
What is this? It's like what you got me watching? Like,
my thing is a lot of shows, I don't necessarily think that they should do a reboot, but I would do a 2-hour movie like a TV special movie, like an hour and a half. You know what I mean?
I already know what show you're gonna say. Girlfriends at the top of everybody.
Girlfriends is the one I want to see. I want closure. Did Tony and Joe make up? Did Joe marry Aaron? Did she write more books? Did Lynn eventually
stop being a bum? It's like did Lynn stop being a bum?
Did Lynn get her music break? Because at the end she was following her music passion. Yeah. Did she become an indie artist and become like a famous indie artist?
Stop being a bum.
Did William eventually take over the firm?
That's 5 storylines right there.
Yeah, so. It's like, I needed closure.
Yeah, that's one. Moesha, we never resolved that.
We never got closure from
died. It's like Miles is dead. Oh, you need to resolve that. Just say, did Miles die or not? It's like, just say you could just do a 5-minute episode to show whether
who was pregnant, who had a baby.
Hashtag justice for Miles and shit.
Another show that I would want to see, like what these characters are up to, is I would want to see Living Single.
We are living.
I want to see them because like even like the last episode was kind of.
They did get a little bit of with Maxine and Kyle on half and half.
On half and half, and they showed
kind of updated them a little bit, kind of sort of, yeah.
And then even though they weren't over there in Sinclair, they were still on one-on-one because they were Spirit's parents. Kim Coles and John Henning played Spirit's parents, but yeah, they did. One-on-one.
Wasn't Sinclair pregnant on it, so was she the baby? Did they do it with Sinclair?
Well, she wasn't pregnant. No, Max
Maxine was pregnant, right? I'm the one.
Yeah,
that's who was pregnant. I know the show ended with one of the characters pregnant. It was Max pregnant with Kyle's baby.
And whatchamacallit was leaving town because Sinclair got her big break in California. That's what happened. Sinclair was getting a big break, and they were going to go to California for her big break. Scooter came back, and him and Khadijah.
Shout out Mike Love.
Scooter came back.
Look at Mike Love, you get that joke.
Scooter came back.
Mike Love ever gets back on the radio, you got to use that audio clip, "Baby, I'm back."
Baby, I'm back.
You got to play a clip of that. You got to.
Scooter did come back. Regine married the fake Blair Underwood. She was engaged to the fake Blair Underwood looking guy.
She's just over it. That's all that was. She just said, "I'm done." It's like, yeah.
You know who he is. Like he looks like Blair Underwood, but he's not Blair Underwood, the
But
fake
Kim
Blair Underwood
Fields
guy.
just because Kim Fields has been acting since she was like a baby, like younger than Khalil. Like, so she
Right.
was just over the shit by then. She
Mm-hmm.
took a long hiatus from acting. She just now got
Yeah,
back
because
into
she's on the
acting. Like,
upshots.
yeah,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
took a long break from acting, which makes sense if you've been doing something since like for as long as you can remember and shit.
Right.
When you get like 30, you be like, yeah, I'm done. It's like, yeah, I'm
Mm-hmm.
over this. It's like she was over it. Yeah, took her a
But
long.
yeah, she was getting married to the guy. So Regine got her multi-millionaire because Regine always wanted a multi-millionaire. So she got him.
Did Flavor get bought? Is that what happened? I don't remember and shit.
They
Yeah.
merged with somebody. They did
I
create a
know the
merger.
company good
Because
boss.
Joseph C. Phillips was the guy who did a merger with Khadijah, aka Martin
Martin from the Cosby
from
Show.
Cosby Show. And I don't know his character was in Strictly Business. I forgot the name of his character.
He smashed Halle Berry. I remember that.
Yeah.
That's all I remember.
And then who else was
He was in
another?
Singapore
Mel
forever.
Jackson, we don't care about Mel Jackson's character. He doesn't need to come on the show because he wasn't part of the original cast. I'm sorry, Mel
That
Jackson, but
character can be ignored. It's like
and Dallas was like, we can't ignore her character too.
you just connected to him, so yeah.
Yeah, we can't ignore both of them.
Ignore her.
But yeah, but the principal characters, like I want to see what happened. Like 25 years later, like what happened to the living
They got
Simpsons?
that show did get resolved, but I get what you say. You
I
kind of
want to see what happened
want to
after.
see the aftermath. Yeah.
Kind of like how like the best man, like it was resolved. But I mean, I like the best man final chapters. Like I like seeing, I like seeing like what else happened after the
Which was
best man
kind of the
holiday.
best man final chapters was kind of like two parts to me. Is like the first two episodes were like would have been what the third movie was, like Quentin's
Which was a wedding, yeah.
Yeah, and the rest of the series was like, okay, what happens after that? Because they did a time jump, like
They
what
did a time jump, yeah.
or something is okay. Like after Quentin's wedding, what happens? Like
What
they
happened?
like a 5 year jump or something like that. After
And we need those sometimes. Like some shows, we do care about what happened afterwards. Now, like I said, now just put a series on a limited. Even if you want to do like a limited series, like 4 episodes, do a limited series or a TV or like a movie,
yeah,
like
like
a 2.5, like a 1 hour and a half, 2 hour movie like that. You could do something simple.
they used to do that back in the day, like the TV movies for like canceled show. I remember
Yeah.
back in the 90s, they did a Dukes of Hazzard one like that, which had went off in the mid 80s. They did like the late 90s. They did like well, people want to see what happened to Bo and Luke and Daisy. And
And
they
Daisy.
did a made for TV movie in the late 90s to like give you an update on the characters. So they
Mm-hmm.
used to do that kind of stuff back, but they didn't have a
Yeah.
whole series. So let's just do a movie and show like what happened to
Yeah, I
this.
want to see that. It's certain shows I do want to see, like, because I mean, these characters were like characters that we grew up with, that they were magic with us and we liked.
I know what show I want. I got
Which
mine.
one?
I want a different world. I want to see it.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah, because it's been about 30 years since that show went off, and it's like it was 35 years when the show
When it
debuted.
started, yeah.
Yeah, because it went
Wow.
off around I think 93, 94.
When I saw that recently, like the 35th,
They were
35 years
Breakfast
ago,
Club.
Different World Star. I was like,
yeah, like 35 years ago. It started like well,
and I was like,
7. It was
yeah, that
2020.
was 35 years ago. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yikes. Like, yeesh.
We know how that show ended is Whitley was pregnant. Dwayne has accepted a job in Japan. He had
And he
what
had
else?
that big idea, the one that the Nintendo game where it was like you throw out the things and make like sentences, or it was like a game that made education fun.
Like that. It's like a
Like a grammar game. Yeah, it was like a grammar game. Mm-hmm.
Like, but whatever happened to Ron Johnson? I want to know what happened to those characters.
Yeah, we need resolution. Because at the end of the series, he was dating Freddie. Him and Freddie were dating.
Which was weak. I didn't care.
That was weak, yeah. Was weak.
I would definitely break them up. Like
I don't think that Freddie would have left Shazza for Ron. I don't think that she would have left.
I don't think they were a good match. It wasn't, they felt whacked.
Forced.
Yeah, forced.
Because Shazza and Freddie were like,
yeah.
They were like two peas in a pod.
Kimberly
They
Reese
were
was with that other fake dude. It's like
a fake Jamaican
the
guy.
horrible wig and accent. It's like,
Spencer.
yeah, like another character I will pretend never happened. It's like
I did like better when they had Kim and Ron together because that was a better because Kim being no nonsense, it forced Ron to mature. It
Ron
forced him to mature and step his game up. It forced him.
game up. That was interesting story, especially
That
when
was a better than Freddie.
Ron was hating because Kim was going out with the white boy and Ron was hating. That was an
Yeah.
interesting storyline. All of that.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "Yeah, well, I ain't like when you got with OP." Like he was mad.
I thought that
And
he
that's
was
what they
good for
planted the seed
Kim.
for them getting together. She was like, "Yeah, I didn't know you liked me like that."
Yeah, I thought Matthew was good for Kim because Kim, like either one, I think that she could work with Kim because Matthew was silly in a free spirit. Kim was like, no, I'm all work, 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 work. And he's like, you need to chill out. You need to let yourself loose sometimes. So he was good where like he helped her
Well, you know
chill out.
the Matthew one wasn't gonna happen because like
I know, yeah, because
that era is like
I
the
know.
brothers one feel. That's why they
I,
got rid of Matthew because the character was so unpopular. They had to write
mm-hmm.
him out and shit. It's like
Well, Matthew wasn't a bad character. He
probably,
wasn't.
like probably nowadays it'll work better. Obviously, if you
Mm-hmm.
look at it like Chris Rock said, look at any TV commercials, like it's all interracial.
Like, hey,
Matthew would work better now, but at the time, it's like, yeah, the character was like, if social media was around, like Matthew would have been the most hated character on
he
that
would
show.
have. He would have.
So I was in the streets and like brothers was not feeling Matthew.
They wasn't feeling it.
We were like, yeah, we were like a little bit because we were high school, so we were a little bit younger than a different world character. So we were like mad at that. Like, how's she gonna get with that white boy?
With
Like
the
the
white boy, yeah.
brothers did not. So social media had been around in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew would have been the most hated character on television. So yeah, I get why they dropped. He was only on there for about a season. They
He was.
dropped him like after they said, okay, like people hate it probably was probably writing letters at that time. It's like fuck Matthew and all that.
We
Yeah.
need like no lie. We need resolution. Why did Colonel Taylor's family disappear? We need
I want
resolution.
that
Why
story.
his whole family
I want that Colonel
disappeared?
Taylor. He had every time a family member. It so started with his missing wife, and it started with a missing family member. Yeah, his wife was in Germany. They never showed his wife. She was just always, oh, my wife is in Germany. Yeah.
My ex-wife, because he got said my ex-wife.
And like he had a daughter, Suzanne Taylor,
Suzanne, who dated Dwayne
so he
briefly.
dated Dwayne in the first like second season.
Second season.
It was very early in the show, yeah. And then she disappeared like by season 3. Then
And
Terrence
they
shows
brought Terrence,
season 4, yeah. And
his
then
goofy ass son, who's I'm a virgin and I'm just goofy as hell.
Vernon, who later became a militant, yeah, like he like
He
he
converted to Islam
yeah, he discovered Islam, which a lot of cats did in the early
in the
90s.
90s. Yeah,
They
they
read the
people saw Malcolm
autobiography
X.
of
So
Malcolm X.
yeah.
So cats discovered the autobiography of Malcolm X, and
I
it's like,
just said people read the autobiography of Malcolm X and watched the movie.
yeah, it was
Now my name is
the book first, and then later the movie. It's like
my name is Shahid Akbar now. It's like, okay, like whatever.
Terrence character, like they
Who you?
made him and then he was like so militant all of a sudden.
A white man. It's like he's like, your mom is white though.
Yeah.
Yeah, the white man. It's like your grandfather.
And he
It became
Taylor
that.
took his bacon. It's like, if you're Muslim, you can't eat that bacon. So let me just take that from you.
His
Like,
bacon.
and Taylor's like, I can't eat bacon. He's like,
Nope.
Yeah, I'll just
Nope.
take it. And then he marries Jaleesa during this time as well, too, which another bad match. The Colonel and Jaleesa.
That was weird.
They have a baby at the end of like season 5 or something, yeah. And then by season 6, like Jaleesa, the baby, and Terrence
It's all gone.
heard from again. It's like all the characters just gone. It's like
I know how they can start right here. I know how they can actually start this movie and listen up, people. I know, like if Lee Daniels or somebody or Tyler Perry, one of them, whoever, they could start it like basically everybody's coming back from Mr. Gaines' funeral. That's how it could start. Because like he did pass away, Lou Myers did pass away some years ago. So to like give him, because he was such a huge part of the show. So I think that to honor him that way, you can honor him.
You got to credit Debbie Allen for that because she was trying to
honor him. Yeah.
Yeah, let's add the old Southern black man cook. Is like, yeah, she wanted to like.
Oh my goodness, these children.
Because she
I
came
love Mr.
like,
Gaines. Mr.
yeah,
Gaines was
that
awesome.
was Debbie Allen's idea to add Mr. Gaines, which
And
was
then the fact that I love the episode, the Mammy episode, when he basically told Kim about like, well, my grandmother was a Mammy,
it
and
was like, yeah, who does this look like? Yeah,
it's not nothing to be ashamed of. Like he's like, you know why Mammy is smiling? You know, he basically broke down like that Mammy is not necessarily a derogative
yeah.
thing to look at to like, you know, it's a meaning behind. Like, yes, you know, the caricature of seeing Mammy can be
And
a hard thing to a hard pill to swallow.
Summer in the blackface was highly controversial, like on set and off set. It's like,
Yeah, I saw the backstory with that because they
wow,
said
like
that
when they
Cree was like,
saw
I don't
Creed
want
in
to do this.
blackface,
She was
yeah,
like, I don't want to do this.
it was highly controversial. Yeah,
And then they said that Charlene was like, well, you know, like you just my complexion is that all the time. You just have to just do it. Like your complexion ain't that all the time. And I'm like,
especially
whoa.
because
But they got into it. Like,
Summer's
geez.
half white too, so it made it even more tense. It's like,
Yeah, because Cree was like, I don't want to do this. Like Cree felt really uncomfortable.
yeah,
You know.
as she should have.
I know I wouldn't want to put on blackface. Hell no. I'm not putting on no.
Both your parents are
No.
black, so imagine if you had a
My
white,
parents are black, but even
you have a
still, I
white
wouldn't want to
parent,
do
you got to
that.
put that
No.
shit on. You really feel like,
No.
really? Yeah.
I would be very uncomfortable with that. But it was a
Yeah,
great episode.
yeah,
It
the
was.
Mr. Gaines funeral angle I like, yeah.
I think that, like I said, see, I need to start writing
Even
again because I
bring
think.
even have a cameo from BB Drake because she played Velma. Yeah, it's like have
Mhm.
her like yeah, be like show her like at the funeral. Yeah,
At the as a widow, his
yeah,
loving wife of 60 whatever years, because like at that point they would have been married over 60 years at that point. So they, his wife was 65 years. You know, they could, you know, whatever,
yeah.
70 years, however long. Do the math and like make it make sense
Yeah.
to add up. But like I said, I would start off like that. Like everybody comes back to town for Mr. Gaines' funeral.
And they all file in one by one, like Dwayne and Whitley come in. Then Ron comes in. Then like Colonel Taylor comes, like have them come in like one by one.
Mm-hmm.
So you
I
get
don't
all
know if I would add so much to the new characters because I don't know if I want to see Lena and Charmaine. I don't want to see if I can
definitely
see.
not using Lena.
Well,
Definitely
for personal reasons.
not using Lena. Fuck Jada. You want to make the set toxic and shit. Yeah. If she's on the set, if she's on there, then we using Chris Rock somehow and shit. Yeah. I'm making up a character just for Chris Rock and shit. Yeah. He's gonna be like a new like one of the because you gotta have new staff that works there. He's gonna be a new staff member that works at Hillman and shit. Yeah. I'll say
New professor in there. He's a new professor.
That's the agreement. Yeah, you could be on the show, but we using Chris Rock too.
No, but I would have.
He says,
Yeah, I don't know so much.
see you with your uniform. You're not looking like G.I. Jane, no. And then look at the camera like, that's great, man.
I so much about the newest one that I would go is probably like Gina. That's about as far as I would go for like newer characters. Is Gina.
Yeah, because Gina was better than Charmaine.
Gina came like season
She was
3.
there before them, yeah, and she yeah, because she was a recurring character before they
put her in the opening.
I mean, even before they put her in the opening, they started using her more. Mm-hmm. It's like because her character was funny, so they
she was just sister girl, like woo girl. She would give you the tea. She was sister girl, but she was funny. Gina was funny, but I'm like Lena and Charmaine. It's like because pretty much they were just do overs of like Freddie and Kim.
Part
they were pretty much like new Freddie and Kim, but not as good as Freddie and Kim. No shade, but
if you don't bring Charmaine, you got to bring Lance back though too. So that's the agreement. If Charmaine's gonna be in the show, Lance got to be there. And if Lena's gonna be there, we doing something with Chris Rock and shit.
And then Bubba Roberts gonna say where he was at.
He was on the show. Yeah, you sucked.
Wasn't it Dorian? Yeah, Dorian.
I forgot he was on the show.
Why do I remember all the characters' names? Like, don't judge me, people. Like, don't judge me.
Yeah, we watched a lot of different world back in the day, basically. That's the moral of that story and shit.
I wanted to go to Black college because of that. I wanted to experience. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be stepping in.
I would like to see the numbers, like how many Black folks went to college because of that show and shit. Like I'm sure
it just looked like a cool experience.
The number is high and shit, especially cats like around my age and shit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
because like when Different World started, we were like some I was you were right before high school, or some were already in high school. Like me was
Mm-hmm.
right before high school. I was like sixth, seventh, I think seventh, sixth, seventh grade when that show started. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like you were at that age, but like you were in.
Right.
So like yeah. Now as the show progressed, you start getting closer to college age. It's like
You're
okay,
like, hey, yeah.
I'm gonna hang out in college. I'm gonna go find me a Whitley Gilbert. He starts.
Get the Gilbert.
Go give me a Southern Belle like that. Yeah. God damn it.
I think that that's where they should start with. So somebody make it happen, or do I need to write a script myself and then submit to somebody and you accept my script? Hopefully,
Since we're
maybe.
talking actors and acting and all of this, like rest in peace, Lance Reddick, 60 years old. Yeah. Best known from The Wire, but he played on a ton of shows. Like
I
from the
loved in my eyes.
he played Detective Basil.
The
he was
undercover cop
who was playing a drug addict. Yeah, who actually did get on drugs.
who actually did, because that was just so sad because like the way his character's introduced, he was undercover, but then you can only stay undercover so long, and then
That's
he
what
actually
Adabisi and
became.
them fucking with you is like, yeah, like it's like they gonna you gonna start snorting with them cats eventually, you know,
Mm-hmm,
because they were all hooked on drugs. It's like, hey, like
mm-hmm.
you gotta
Because you
get
can't, you can only pretend for so long. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna like no here. Like you can't be like, oh, I'm gonna go snort in the back. Like no, you gotta snort right here in front of me.
yeah.
Oh, and then he became what he got addicted to the drugs.
He also played on The Corner,
Mm-hmm.
very underrated
The
miniseries.
corner was really good. Yeah,
The
it was
Corner
really, really
crawled so the
good.
Wire could walk. It's like yeah, because The Corner was basically like the real life version of The Wire because it was set in Baltimore. Like Charles Dutton was
Charles directed it. Yeah.
he's from Baltimore and he was just writing about cats he knew from his old neighborhood. Most of those characters were like they're based on real people on The Corner.
Mm-hmm.
He was just writing about cats he knew from the old neighborhood and shit. And he was one of the he was with Candy Alexander's character. He was her brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, that he played
Mm-hmm.
her guy. Yeah, on the Corner, which
Mm-hmm.
later led to The Wire. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Really good series. It was. I looked up and see if I can find that streaming anywhere.
HBO. I'm sure.
Hey, yeah, I'm gonna try to look it up and see if I can find it. I'm gonna try to see if I
HBO
can find
Max,
it.
baby. Yeah, I'm
I'm
sure
gonna
they
try to
got
see if it's on there. I'm gonna look and I'm gonna watch it because it was a really good series. It was like maybe like what like 6, 7 episodes. It was. It was a short. It was a limited series. It was
The Corner. I gotta look up The Corner. I thought you were talking about The Wire. Yeah,
the
no, The
corner. So it was like 6 or 7
Corner is
episodes.
missing. I think yeah, that might be about 5, 6 episode
It
mini.
was a limited series. Yeah, I remember that.
I remember the kid, the dude that played Big Mike from the Wood,
Big
played
Mike slash
that.
Omar Epps' character when he was a kid in the wood.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
played Mike. He played Little Mike, not Big Mike. He played Little Mike from the Wood. Yeah, he was on the Y. Not Y. The Corner is like he played the son
Mm-hmm.
up there. Yeah,
Really good series. I remember just wanting more of it, like after it went off, and I remember like, oh, this is it. I was like, I'm wearing more.
Like yeah, it was a great cat. What's his name? Parnell. Well, I can't think of it. What's his name?
Glenn Plummer.
Glenn Plummer. Thank you. I was like Parnell / OG Bobby Johnson from. I'm thinking of his characters' names. I was like, I know he's Parnell in Menace to Society. He was OG Bobby Johnson.
Bobby Johnson.
I was like, what's the actor's name? Hey, you Glenn Plummer. He
Mm-hmm.
played on The Corner as well too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was like one of the ones that a spoiler for like a 25-year-old series. He one of the kind that actually got off the drugs. Like
They
him,
got off the dress and got out. Yeah,
Alexander actually got clean. Like they
they
two.
got clean. Yeah,
The rest of them pretty much overdosed. Is on.
yeah.
Yeah, the two
They
other.
showed the one character who overdosed, and I was like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
But
And then
really good series, and just sad that like I said, when I saw that, I was like, Lance Rex. Oh, well, so I was like,
he was
oh.
only 60, so that's young. It's like so. I
But
wonder
they
how
said that it was. They said his publicist said it was natural. I'm
that
like, at
natural
60?
causes. I was looking at the bio. Yeah, it
I
said.
was like, at 60? That's so young, though. It is. But definitely a loss of the community because he was also a voice actor. He did several things with voice acting as well. So he touched a lot of different avenues. So whether you knew his face, you maybe didn't know his face, but you
Definitely
knew
knew
his
his
voice.
face. Yeah, yeah. Like some people might have known his voice, but like most people probably knew his face, but not his name. Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like I know that's dude from The Wire, or that's dude from Oz. It's like you knew his
Right.
face.
Because so I was like the name, and I was like, this sounds. And then when I saw his picture, I was like, from Ooh, because that's where I knew him most when I watched Oz.
He was
So
on Oz before The Wire because Oz was came on before The Wire. Yeah.
mhm. I was like, not him. I
In
was like,
between there, he
no.
was on the corner in between those two series. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Rest well, sir. Rest well.
we also lost Nipsey from Martin. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
54,
Yeah.
even younger. Yeah,
I know. I was like, what is going on? When I saw him that he had passed away and he was just on the reunion, the Martin reunion.
yeah. Because like they brought Nipsey out. With,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the Martin, which was really good. Highly recommended. Check out the Martin reunion. Yeah,
Yeah.
highly recommended. Best part was
Mhm.
when they did the Tommy funeral part. Is like
Yeah,
the
the Tommy funeral. Yeah.
that was very touching and emotional. You can
Mhm.
see the actors actually getting emotional too. Yeah,
Yeah. And then it was nice that they had Tommy's widow there, that
yeah,
his wife was there. So
yeah.
mhm.
But yeah, Nipsey was part of that. Yeah, the Martin
Yeah,
reunion.
because when I saw that, I was like, he was just on the Martin special.
Mhm.
Like, oh, like all these losses that we're having.
They say it comes in threes. Bobby Caldwell, little blue
Yes, I know. When I saw that, that hurt me.
eyes.
How many people sampled that song?
Y'all know this. Y'all know the song. If you don't know the name, y'all know the
I
damn song. Y'all know the song if you don't know the name.
came back to let you know. And Bobby Caldwell, like I found out maybe about 12 years ago that he wasn't black. Maybe about 12 years ago. I was
When
like, wait,
he was
he's
on
not
the,
black.
when he was on the BET Awards, that's what it was.
Something like that, probably. I was like, he's not black. Like,
He
wait a minute.
performed and I think like on my timeline it was going crazy. So yeah, I had no idea.
But we didn't know. None of us knew.
I knew like yeah, but a lot of
I
people.
didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I'm not
Even
MC
on his
I'm not MC Marcus Chapman, but I'm a little bit of a historian, so like I knew, but average person didn't know.
even on his cover of his album, like it was a silhouette of him on the bench. It had the silhouette with his hat on. His hat was cocked down,
A lot
and
of
he was sitting on the
white
bench
artists did that so they would get play on black radio. It was like the reverse of what they did in the 60s, but like no,
for the black people.
the five heartbeats when they put like you ain't gonna see five niggas on Elvis Presley's covers. Like, they
White
put like
people playing at the beach. Like, wait, what?
like by the say started doing that with the white artists because you know like yeah well VON which is our hood was that was the Power 92 of this of that day. It's like they wasn't gonna play like the white stations weren't gonna
Mm-hmm.
play. I mean the black
Mm-hmm.
stations weren't gonna play
We're gonna play it like that.
like Casey and the Sunshine Band. He didn't have his picture on his
He didn't
like
have his picture.
Bobby Caldwell. Then later in the 80s, the Beastie Boys didn't have their
Tina
picture.
Marie didn't have her picture. Tina
Tina,
Marie didn't have her picture. First, she didn't.
I know the Beastie Boys. They first because Russell said that hey, don't put your picture on the cut. He suggested
Tina did because I saw Tina Marie on
on
her unsung like on her first album, and then then when she came out, and then people was like, wait a minute, like Tina Marie, that's Tina Marie. Like I thought that she was a black lady, like not this white lady.
Casey and the Sunshine Band too, because like when Casey's sister was talking about that, she got into a debate with somebody said that Casey was black.
Was black, and she's
White. I
like,
know he's
no.
my brother. I know he's white. Casey black. It's like swarming.
It's about the soul. You sing with this like Bobby sang with the soul. He had the blue eyed soul. He sang with so much soul.
71 years old. Yeah.
Yeah. So really sad loss. Like I played that video as soon as I shared that on my timeline, the video from the BT Awards.
Dun, 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 dun,
And you
dun.
can tell he took care of his voice because he still sounded good. Like he took care of his voice. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a banger. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what you got, kid? I said a lot. I saw this go locally real quick. Taste Chicago. It's not dead yet, motherfuckers. They having the shit in September now, which is so weird. It's like, yeah, they pushed
Do you remember?
how Taste Chicago in September is going to work. I'm gonna get the exact date. So yeah,
They should have it on Earth, Wind, Fire Day. If they put it on Earth, Wind, Fire Day, then
that would be great.
just go all the way ridiculous with it. It's like, who's going to want to be outside in Chicago in September?
Chicago September can be real questionable.
It's
September,
very iffy.
September 8th through the 10th. So
So
that's
it's 2 days.
why. Yeah, they've been shortened it up. Like, yeah, they've been they've been
Let me
doing
get this straight. It's in
even the July
September
one they had shortened it up. Yeah,
after Labor Day,
yeah,
and it's 2 days, and it's before 9/11.
yeah. There you go.
Like what are we doing? Like what's the I'm trying to find what the theme is. Like what's the theme for this? Because like back in the day, the theme was okay, this is the lead up to the 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna kick off summer. We're starting summer off right. And
Yeah,
you can
because it would
get a
usually
taste of
start. It would
Chicago.
usually start around your birthday.
It did.
The thing would be like 10 days long.
It
It'd be
went
like
10 days. It
yeah,
ran for 10 days.
yeah, and it ends sometime like that weekend of the fourth. Would usually like like if the
Mm-hmm.
fourth was in the middle of the week, it would end that weekend. So
Right.
usually end that weekend of the
I
fourth.
don't get it. I don't get what the theme is. Cause then it's like in Chicago, like I said, the weather might be iffy, and then
Are they going to have any acts, or is it just going to be
I
like
doubt it. Cause I mean you can't throw accident
2 days?
2 days.
How you going to have like acts? So you
Is it
say
going to be in Grant Park or is it going to be in
it
maybe
is in Grant Park.
it's still in Grant Park?
The
Okay.
reason why they had to move is something with NASCAR going on around that time in July, which is why the taste was originally canceled. But then
Hmm.
the outcry brought it back. They put it at the let's tack it on to the end of the schedule. They just slapped it there.
Let's sum it in the summer. Instead of kicking off summer, it's going to end summer. What?
Because typically with the festivals, like for years, for decades, even it was like Blues Fest would kick it off early, the Jazz
Jazz
Fest would
Fest
end
would
it.
end it.
This year is after the Jazz Fest because Jazz Fest would be like Labor Day weekend.
Labor Day weekend would be
It'll
a
be
jazz
after the
fest.
Jazz Fest. So,
So
yeah.
weird. I don't know what to make of this. Like, I mean, am I going to go and try to support it? But like, this is just weird. It just feels very weird. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna go. I'm sorry. I don't know.
No, I'm not going.
I wanted to go and try and support it and take the kids, but I don't know if I want to even. Doesn't it seem that let me look at you said the 9th to the 10th? Let me look at my calendar. Yeah, so that would be the
the, week,
Saturday after Labor Day because
the
Labor Day is on
weekend
the
after
4th.
The weekend after Labor Day.
Yeah, so it's a weekend after Labor Day.
Mm.
Very weird.
Kids back in school. That's gonna be straight. A taste of Chicago with the kids back. That's like the taste is like you said. It's like you think summertime with that shit.
Summertime shy.
Yeah, summertime shy. The taste was like one of the biggest highlights. It's
Maybe
like
by the fountain, hanging
the
out there.
taste was the highlight for years.
Meet
Like
me at the
now,
fountain.
it's probably Lollapalooza. It's like, but the taste was like before Lollapalooza. The taste was like the highlight of the summertime shy events. Yeah, that was the main one.
I ain't feeling this. I'm just not. I'm not feeling this.
Yeah, won't see me. Rest in peace
Yikes.
to the late great Judson Todd Allen. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
back in the good old days when he
That's
participated.
the good old day when he had his presentations and stuff. So I mean, I would like doing that. But I mean, I guess change is inevitable. We can't be dinosaurs, I guess. So we have to go with change, go with the flow. I guess that's what
Well,
we're doing.
evolution is what they call it, kid.
Evolution. There you go. Speaking of things that are changing, and we're going to keep a little bit, like I said, even though he's not Chicago, but he's still Chicago. Michael Jordan selling the Hornets.
I
Like,
saw. I saw.
I saw that. I was like,
I
And I
don't know
read
how
it.
I
I was
feel
like,
about that because Michael still is was the only minority, the only black NBA owner. So yeah, but majority owner, yeah,
majority owner. Yeah.
black majority owner. So yeah, hopefully somebody black buys the team. That's the only thing I
I
can.
hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because when I saw that, I was like, but people are like, yeah, because the Hornets have been sucked and they haven't done they did which
So the has the Clippers suck, is that? But I don't see anybody saying they should sell like the white
but
Clippers suck
but
longer than the Hornets. Clippers been
but
around.
if Jordan does sell this, then it would be a win for him because he paid 180 million for it. It's worth
You know you're gonna
1.6
get some. You know
billion.
you're gonna get some billions now. Yeah.
So I mean, whether you want to laugh at the Hornets and say it's a fail, it would be a financial gain for him if he does sell it. So a serious gain for him financially.
Michael is probably just getting older and he's over it. Like he said,
Yeah, because Michael just turned
like,
60,
he's like
so
I live my dream of owning a team now. I'm tired of, and he might be feel the same way. I'm tired of running this losing franchise. So that's probably what he's just over it because he just did it just so he could say he did it. That's
I
what.
own the team. How many people can say that I owned it? I owned the NBA team. I owned the sports team.
It's
How many people
only
can say that?
it's only 30 people that can say that in NBA you own a team.
I've owned the team.
And 31, I think, NFL because the Packers are publicly owned. That's the only way. So it's like only 31 and that because the 32nd one is publicly owned.
Right. So I mean, we're gonna follow and see. Like, he's definitely in the talks of wanting to sell the Hornets. So we'll see if it happens. Who's gonna be the running candidate to want to possibly buy this team?
Trying to think of like what former NBA players would be in the running for that. Unless something unprecedented happened, and then a current player, like if LeBron bought the shit, that would be insane. That would be the only current player. I'm thinking what former players would have the capital and like would, yeah, I'm trying to think of like who, like Magic owns a lot of shit. I don't know if Magic wants to buy the Hornets though. Yeah, Magic would definitely have the money though. So, yeah.
How close is Shaq to having that much?
Shaq is a part owner of the King, so he's already dipping his toe.
Okay. Yeah.
Ownership. So he could if you want to own a whole team, like he sell like his King shares to like
right. Well, I think if it's like Shaq offhand, that's like a retired player who Shaq turns out no money. He turns out nothing.
Shaq and Magic. Because Kobe's no longer with us, he would have been an option. But yeah, and it would have been interesting because like that's the
team. And Hornets did draft him. That would have been.
Yeah, it would have been like because people say because Kobe did play for one franchise, but that's not the franchise that drafted him. He got drafted and then traded by the Hornets for Vlade Divac. Up there, the top 10 worst trades of all time. That's up there.
They do it like this.
The top 10. That's up there with Rodman and Purdue / Garnett and Pierce's corpses for Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Basically, he essentially traded to the picks that became Tatum and Brown. The corpses of Garnett and Pierce. It's like like up there, some of the worst NBA trades of all time up there. Yeah, with
just lopsided.
Kobe for Vlade Divac and shit. Yeah. Who didn't even stay there, who's most known for his time with the Kings. So not only did you trade him for Kobe, you trade Kobe for him, then he didn't even stay left him for you.
Like, I have no idea when he was on that episode Married with Children. Yeah, I still remember the episode he was on Married with Children and Kelly was trying to holler at him. You remember that? Kelly was trying to get with Vlade.
That's funny. But yeah, I don't know what cats will be in a position to buy the Hornets. It's interesting though. Definitely gonna follow that story. Let's talk we're talking Michael Jordan. Let's talk about his son's girlfriend. Thottie Pippen. Let's talk. What did she appear on? She said that was like she had me and her and Scotty were married. They had sex 4 times a day for 20 years. I forget. I don't even know what the show was.
I don't remember the show, but I saw the quote.
She was on. And I watched the video.
She said, "I had no days off." She said, "We have sex 4 times a night for 23 years of marriage. I had no days off." And I have many questions. Like, I'm not saying it's cap. I'm not going to say that, but
I saw the comments. People were saying cap. I'm like, but some people's sexual habits, yeah. Some people.
Yeah, I'm not saying cap, but I have.
It's possible. I'm not saying it's true, but it's possible that somebody have like a sexual appetite like that.
I have questions for that. When she said she had no soul, my thing I'm looking at, you say you have the way you worded, I had no nights off, meaning that a lot of the time you didn't want to have sex 4 times in a night with your husband. You didn't want to do that, but he's just like, you going to do this because that's what I'm just like, this is blowing my mind because you look at, they had several children. You're supposed to wait 6 weeks. When you give birth, you're supposed to wait 6 weeks. Think about it like this. When you squeeze toothpaste out of a tube of toothpaste, you cannot put the toothpaste back into the tube, correct? So once a baby passes out through your body, it's not the same. It's just not going to be the same like that no more. You got to let your body heal. You got to let your body do what it needs to do in that 6 weeks.
Mm.
And then let's just state the obvious. Women, you get your monthly.
Scotty was running red lights. I guess this.
Right. Like he just like she couldn't just surf the Crimson Tide on her own. Like, I mean, I have many questions. Like this is like stuff I'm thinking about as a woman who does have children. I'm like, wait a minute. Like
TLC was saying, well, she gives Scotty the red light special.
I mean, that's awful. I mean, if that's the case, if she felt that I'd have to do this, like that's not like guys, that's not what's up. It's not no, like guys, don't be a creep like that. That's why I say if you're a man, don't be a creep. Like that's not what's up making your woman. No, that's not.
I'm
that's
just wondering
not,
with him being an
that's
athlete, would he have had time to have sex 4 times a night? That's like that's the question.
Yeah, that's because I mean you're on the road.
You're on the road and just training. You got we talk about practice, like Charlotte Allen Iverson. We got practice. It's like so many hours.
And then she wasn't Jackie Chris, and she wasn't at all the away games.
I don't think Thottie Pippen was on the road like that.
But she wasn't.
I'd call her Thottie. I'd have changed the woman's name. Yeah, I don't think she was on the road like that.
Because Jackie Chrissy, her ass at every game, she at every game on the tour bus and shit.
I couldn't do it, but is whatever it is working. They still married. It's like I couldn't do that shit.
Is
like,
it working? I mean, they're married, but is it really working?
Doug Chris is a better man than me because ain't no way and shit.
Have a life. That's just have a life, ladies. Have a life outside your husband.
Like over 5 years at this point. Like I couldn't do this shit. It's like I couldn't. Like I'm not Doug Christie.
I couldn't do it either. I'm not following my husband. I couldn't
do that shit. Like,
I'm not following my husband everywhere.
I'd have been got
have
rid
of life.
It. I'm not.
Like what? And then it's like, what do you? If you have that much mistrust where you think that your husband's gonna cheat, like if he just goes and pees, like do you pee with him in the bathroom? Like what? Like where do you draw the line at? Like that's just where I'm like, you don't need to be under somebody all the time. You need to give somebody their space.
You don't need to be married if you don't trust anybody. That's all. Yeah.
There you go.
That's there you go. If you can't trust, then why are you married? Like,
there you go.
Get divorced if you don't trust them that much.
But I have many questions about that. Those are just my questions that I have. Like, so you didn't take the 6 weeks off. You didn't take the monthly off.
Him and being in training and on the road, like he had sex 4 times in the middle of all of that. It's in between practices. When you had practice and then when you were waiting in the locker room in between practice, he wouldn't hit. So he hit in the morning when he got up. You would in the middle of practice. He hit like before dinner and before bed. Like I'm just like making
4 times. She said 4 times a day. Like what? So that's a lot going on. That's a lot. Unless he's just a 5-minute man. He might be a 5-minute man. I don't know.
Or maybe the sessions happen back to back. It's like 5 minutes, and then you wait another 5 in between, then go right back into.
Then go right back, then another 5, go right back. Yeah,
sessions happen all together and shit. It's like
so that's what I have questions about. But seemingly, she seems to be happy with Marcus Jordan.
Body Pippen, man.
I don't. It's just weird to me because I think that they're saying that it didn't, like nothing happened. They didn't know each other years ago. But I'm like, how did you like? Unless Michael and Scotty just never talked outside of like the Bulls games.
They probably it's a chance that they didn't know. Like I don't know if Michael had his kids around the team like that, and I don't know. Like
right.
It was they seemed like they would have ran into each other at a rally or something like that during a championship rally. Like, in Grant Park, they would have bumped at each other or something.
Right.
Unless you just didn't notice because kids don't pay attention to shit. And then he was a little, she wasn't checking for him either. She was. Like, they might have saw each other and just didn't know that they were
passing. Yeah, and not. But I mean, maybe they weren't friends. Maybe Michael and Scotty weren't like, "Hey, let's come over."
They probably weren't homies either. And shit.
Yeah, I'm firing up the grill. Come over this weekend. Like maybe they weren't friends like that.
Probably never went to Mike's house and vice versa.
Right. He never went to the 23 on the gate. Maybe he never went. Because in my mind, like, I mean, just because you see people, teammates, that doesn't mean that they're actually friends in real life.
I know that from firsthand from like cats are like Mike Love and the Diz. Like they probably closer now than when they were on the radio doing
Yeah, because
bad.
they weren't friends
They,
back in the
they talk
day.
about that. It's like, yeah, like we never went to each other's house like during
Houses back in the
all
day.
that time and shit. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
Mike said like Diaz didn't come to my house until they got ready to do the podcast, the Chicago Famous. Like,
Yep.
that's the first time he ever went to his house. It was like all those, so they didn't know each other like that. And
Sometimes it's like that. Like I said, but in our mind, we create like, oh, they're buddies, they're besties. We create this image, and then people that we think that are enemies, like they behave like LeBron and Draymond, like they're friends, like they're actually friends, but they hang out.
yeah. Saw Draymond was on the shop. Yeah,
They competitive on the court because they're both competitive, they're both fierce competitors. They
yeah.
both are people who want to win their games, so they're fierce competitors on the court. But outside the court, it's like, okay, let's go play golf right now. Let's go play tennis. All right. The wives probably are brunching, they probably having bottomless mimosas. The wives are out at a brunch spot doing that. So,
Juanita and Thottie weren't doing that, I guess.
well, yeah, I'm sure. I don't think Juanita liked her.
Juanita and Thottie weren't hanging out.
Like, I'm not hanging out with her.
You wouldn't hang out with Thottie Pippen. Oh, her and Lala were friends. I do know that much because they were like, yeah, which
She was
makes
friends with the Kardashians, Larsa.
and her and
So,
Lala used to hang out. Another,
and Lala, yeah. Lala's friends with a lot of people.
Lala and Thottie were friends. I know. Yeah.
Because Lala seems to be the common ground for like a lot of people. Like a lot of people, when you see them, like, oh, like, okay, they're mutual friends, Lala. That's how they met. They met through like Lala is like the connector for a lot of people.
Oh,
She
shout
is.
out Lala on BMF, by the
I
way.
don't watch BMF. So.
No, the sex scenes, and I'll leave it at that.
Well, I guess Lala said, "Hey, I'm taking the application." She said, "Hey, I'm trying to get my swerve back, get my groove back."
Lala's body is amazing. I'll leave it at that. I'll say less.
She's trying to get her groove back. But
So
one thing we will talk about, we could talk about bodies and stuff. Miss Sierra's dress.
yeah, a current wife, not a former wife like Lala. Wife.
Who once again, like I said, she's friends with Lala, and like yeah, so like she's like I said, Lala connected to everybody. Lala's friends with everybody.
All the sports wives she's
All the
with.
sports wives and girlfriends are friends with Lala. But Miss Sierra at the Vanity Fair, not the Oscars. It wasn't the Oscars. It
Not
wasn't
every because the Oscars is exclusive. Typically,
yeah.
like to go to the Oscars, you got to be nominated because I've been to the Dolby. Like I'm about to say we've been, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I've been in the Dolby is not that big.
Right.
It's about the size of like the Airy Crown or something like that. It's like
Right.
it's
It's not a large theater.
not that big in there. So yeah, if so seating is gonna be limited. Not everybody's gonna go to the Vanity Fair. Typically, like the celebrities that don't go to the Oscars, like if you see them at an Oscar, that's where they at is the Vanity
The
Fair part.
Vanity Fair after party. The
Yeah,
after party.
like that and the Governor's Ball are like two basically the after parties to go to.
Mm-hmm.
Like the others are like fake after parties. So either the Governor's Ball, which is is the club right above the Dolby, which we did go to, like the club
Right.
like right. It was called the Kodak Theater.
The Kodak Theater back in
Right
the
club
day. Yes.
right upstairs is like yeah, that's the club there. That's where the Governor's Ball is at, and then the other big one is the Vanity Fair. The
Mm-hmm.
Vanity Fair is where the celebrities go that weren't nominated. Like I said, they go like to that
Mm-hmm.
one, which is what
And it's usually a theme that like they wear, where they wear something. Like they're wearing outfits to be seen. That's what they do. They wear stuff to be seen.
It's like the Met Gala where you basically
it is. It's like the Met Gala. That's a good comparison. It's like that, where you're wearing stuff that you would never wear in.
similar to the Met Gala with
You would wear stuff that you would never would wear walking down the street in real life. It's like you wear outlandish shit to that. But Sierra kind of flat for her dress because initially when I saw her dress, I thought it was a flesh color. I didn't know that it was actually her skin because I thought it was a flesh because you see people wear like I used to dance so like we had flesh tone stockings what we would wear with our leotard. So like from far away it looks like oh you got your thighs. I was like no these are flesh tone tights like my thighs are not out and I got my leotard on top of it. My thighs are not out. But when I saw, I thought it was like a flesh tone outfit. And then when I looked, I was like, oh, And then when when she turned around, I saw the back. I was like, oh, that's ass. Okay, I saw ass, and I was like, oh,
You know when she turned around, it's like, okay, that's their actual flesh. It's like,
okay, that's ass. Okay.
nobody, you know the difference between hey, dress and ass. It's like, like
And I
what's that
was
House
like,
Party 3? That's not Ninja Turtles. That's ass. It's like the old lady watching. They thought it was Ninja. Hey, they're supposed to be the Ninja Turtles.
Ninja Turtles.
That's not Ninja Turtles. That's ass. It's like,
But I mean, I didn't know. And then people were being very cruel and saying that Russell's a simp. And look at Russell's face; he doesn't look happy. She runs the relationship. Like people were just making all these
everybody had an
assumptions.
opinion. And here's my thing. I get
Everybody
having an
made
opinion.
assumptions.
Like everybody has an opinion. It's like assholes. Everybody got one.
Correct. And
Everybody,
most of them stink, but
Islam are full of shit. It's like yeah. It's like
there you go.
everybody has an opinion. I get that, but to be actually bad over what another man's wife is wearing is it ain't that serious to me. It's like
Thank you.
like me
Thank
personally,
you.
I like the way I look. Here's my opinion when I saw the whole thing. I was like, I wouldn't be crazy about my lady wearing that, but Sierra's not my lady. So like, apparently he is
Exactly.
fine with her wearing that. That's all. It's like that's what I wasn't actually mad. I was like, yeah, I wouldn't be
Mm-hmm.
crazy about that, but yeah, I'm not him though. So yeah,
And that's my thing. Like, that's a conversation that you have with your mate, with your partner, your husband, whatever. You have that conversation with your partner. Your partner, you know what your partner is comfortable with and what your partner
you
is
know
not
what
comfortable with.
buttons to put. Yeah, you know what buttons to push. And
Everybody has a line that shouldn't be crossed. No matter how much, like, oh, I'm chill on everything. Everybody has a line. That's bullshit. Everybody has a line.
yeah,
And if he's fine with his wife wearing that, I mean, some not being funny, but some guys do get. I'm not sure if Russell this is his thing, but some
some
guys
guys
do.
like that.
I,
You know, they
I
want to
got
have
a bad bitch.
they
Look at
want to
my
have the
bad
hot
bitch.
wife. It's like some guys
Some
like
guys are into that.
yeah, that's me right there. It's
That's
like
me.
some cats do that. It's like, yeah, Russell might be one
That's
of those
me.
guys. It's like I don't.
But he could be. I said I don't know the man personally, so I don't know.
He's like some cats are into
Like
that.
me personally, like I mean, I wouldn't wear it because I mean I'm just not. I'm not that free. I'm
You
just
don't
not.
dress like you got a fucking turtleneck on now.
All right.
You don't dress like
I'm
that.
not that free. I mean, and even like if I wear something that goes a little bit north of my knee, I feel like oh my god, I'm like oh, that's a little north of my like you can wear something that's a little north of your knee.
you got that from mom.
He's like you can wear something a little north of your knee, honey. I'm like I don't
Mom
know.
ain't wearing nothing that's not below the knee and shit like that.
That's how I feel. But then Marcus is like, get this. And he's like, you would look good in it. And when I try, I'll be like, that looks good on you. And I'm like, I feel now I'm like this. I'm kind of like, like, okay. Like, you know, I have to like warm up
I like
with a little north of my knee.
I like Babe like showing her shape off. She's she's curvy and shit. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
my lady, yeah, she's curvy. Yeah,
And
so
some people, like I said, because Marcus said it to me. Like, my outfit I wore on my birthday, like Marcus, when I wore that outfit, he was like, yeah. He was like, yeah. My birthday outfit, he was like, yeah. He was all like, cheesing because the people looked at it, was like, oh, like, okay, all right. Look,
I like
okay,
when
we need to see her in loose stuff, but
I like when she wears something that shows her ass off.
yeah, but guys do like to feel because what person doesn't want? Every man wants to hear like, okay, okay, son. I see every guy wants to hear that.
I see you,
Every guy wants
especially from the old drunk
your
uncles.
old for your uncle,
Uncles is like,
which is
I
what
see you,
Aisha Curry.
nephew.
That's all Aisha Curry wanted. Like when people said she wanted to, she
Aisha
didn't want a
Curry.
ticket. That's all she wanted.
It all
She just
comes back
wanted.
to Aisha Curry. Let's go.
She just wanted somebody. She just wanted Steph's uncle to say, "I see you." That's all she wanted.
Fuck Larsa, Pippen, Lala, and Sierra. It all comes back to Aisha Curry, this whole conversation.
That's all La. That's all Aisha Curry wanted.
That's it.
She just wanted somebody to say, I see you, Neff. I see you, nephew. That's all she wanted. She didn't want niggas hollering at her. She didn't want that. She just wanted someone to say, I see you. That's all she wanted.
We ended on Aisha Curry.
With Sierra, like, and then stop quoting Future and saying, because I saw somebody even say,
I saw some Future quotes too.
Future said she was for the streets. I would not quote a man who has 7 children by 7 different women, who none of his kids are full siblings. I would not quote someone who has no children that are full siblings. I just wouldn't. I just would not quote him if use him as this is your ace in the hole. I wouldn't use him as my ace in the hole.
That note, after Aisha Curry is all I want. Every podcast, every episode, we got to end with Aisha Curry from here on now. Shout out Aisha and Steph and shit.
Khalil loves Steph Curry. That's his favorite player.
Okay, yeah. Got to go. Hopefully, Aisha is at the game. We gotta get skybox tickets, and then like if our box is next door to Aisha Curry, fuck that would be.
Like, hey, well, their son is the same age as Khalil. Like, go play with their son. Yeah, it's the same age as Khalil, so they can play together.
I still didn't see that awful show they drinking show they had. Like what?
It was actually pretty cool.
What?
I actually liked it.
Match game, not the match game. It was Titties Tattletale.
About last night. It basically was Tattletales here.
Tattletales.
It actually was pretty cool because you actually saw people outside, like, okay, like they drinking and cussing. Like, so it was like, like seeing like people who are like
drinking, cussed. I'm interested now.
Yeah, they were drinking and cussing. Yeah, they were.
Like the shop, basically. That's what except it wasn't said in the barber shop. It was like the shop.
It was sexual questions. It was asking sexual questions. It was like one of those games.
Just talking shit. It's like it wasn't.
Yeah. So it's interesting to see people like be able, okay, like you're not like, yeah, like okay, I don't have to be clean cut on TV, but after hours, okay, this is me after hours.
Like me on this podcast, like people don't know I'm an asshole, like until they listen to this.
They don't? No, I'm kidding.
People that don't know me like that. Everybody that knows me knows what time it is. But if you don't really know me, you'll hear this podcast, you'll be shocked and shit.
Like
you shocked like Mr. Drummond on different.
Hush your pearls.
But let's wrap this up, Aisha Curry. Not another damn podcast. 303 definitely appreciate you supporting us. You want to support us further because not all superheroes wear capes, so I'm rocking it. Give us a like. Also, subscribe, share, rate, review on all your platforms. Talking Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, SoundCloud, iHeart, TLC Talk Radio. What's good, Tasha?
Hey, Tasha.
YouTube and your Amazon Alexa devices. Follow me at Ozman the Wizard on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Oz Radio on Snapchat and Facebook as well. You know what? How to get at me.
And you can check me out, MSI in the 8626 on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Also, SCR8GULLEY1 on Twitter, SCR8GULLEY7 on Instagram. Also, please like the Straight Gully Facebook fan page. Check out straightgully.com for your blogs and your vlogs, and for your video production needs. Check out straightgullyproductions.com.
I'm Ozman the Wizard.
And Naima.
We will talk to you later.
Bye.
I'm gone.